BCS National Championship game is just around the corner. Monday night, second-ranked Auburn will try to knock off undefeated Florida State.
One big reason for FSU's success this season is their Heisman Trophy winning quarterback Jameis Winston. Fox News Sports anchor Simone Eli is live at the Rose Bowl now to talk about Winston and his impact this season. Hey, Simone.
Hey, Letitia, you're absolutely right. Winston has done some remarkable things this season for Florida State. The redshirt freshman has led the Seminoles to an undefeated regular season, an ACC championship, and now possibly a BCS title. We'll see. Now, this is the second consecutive freshman to win the Heisman Trophy after Texas A&M signal caller Johnny Manziel took the award home last season. Winston is a two-sport athlete for the Noles, quarterback for the football team, and a pitcher on the baseball team, so an all-around athlete. Now, Winston is from the state of Alabama. He attended Hueytown High School, and he says this game with Auburn has a little more meaning for him.
Obviously, we got a great Auburn team that we got to face, and this is actually a rivalry game for me because I'm playing the home state team. And I mean, we just look forward to this game. Like what people think outside of this and what people are trying to do is I mean, I can't control none of that. So I just go out there and play football.
Well, there's no doubt about Winston will be in the spotlight like he has been all season. Check out these stats. The freshman has thrown for more than 3,800 yards for a total 38 touchdowns. And it comes to no surprise, he has the highest quarterback rating in the country at 190.1. It doesn't get more impressive than that, folks, especially for a freshman. So Auburn definitely has a lot to try to handle, and they had to practice their third practice in California today, preparing for the big game today. Defensive coordinator Ellis Johnson and players spoke to the media. On topic for conversation was the Auburn defense having success against Heisman-like quarterbacks.
We've played 4 quarterbacks who've been mentioned in the Heisman race at some point in time during the season, and probably 5 NFL quarterbacks, and it's been a test, and we haven't always played extremely well, but we've always found a way to step up, and I think our system is just a part of it. It's what the players have done within the system to make plays.
Week in and week out definitely gets you ready for, I mean, seeing previous Heisman winners gets you ready for a guy that just won the Heisman. You know, playing against those guys a couple years now, you know, watching them grow and watching how they transpired over the years shows the depth of exactly what Winston had the capacity of. And I think he's a great playmaker. I think being in those situations also has shown us how to be resilient and, you know, not give up when they make a big play.
Well, Auburn's definitely going to have a huge task in trying to stop the Heisman Trophy winner Winston. We'll see if they can do it come Monday. Shifting gears now, earlier in the 4 o'clock show, we talked about Rod Bramlett, who is the voice of the Tigers. He's gotten to see some incredible things this season. 2 of those were the prayer in Jordan Hare, and also the kick 6 against Alabama. Joining me now is our Michael Brandon to talk about him. Can you talk about the conversation you had with Rod Bramlett?
Simone, let me tell you, Rod Bramlett is definitely a witness to history. In a sit-down interview, an exclusive sit-down interview you'll only see here on Fox 10, he told me that this year is something he will probably see never again in his broadcast career.
As a broadcaster, in my position, broadcasting for my school, my alma mater, we're not supposed to be middle of the road. Auburn fans listen to us because they want the Auburn perspective. You know, we try to paint a good picture. We have a great crew. We love them. And I'm the only one there that does it for a full-time job. All these other guys are there just because they love Auburn. But to think that those calls will be played over and over means so much for me, and it means so much to me because it's a positive. It puts a positive light on Auburn. People remember that play because of the amazing finish at the end of the Georgia game, the incredible finish at the end of the Alabama game. They'll also remember who was involved, and that was Auburn. And I think that in itself is what makes me the happiest. You know, I just happened to ride the bull for 8 seconds. Twice. Now, I did it twice, but I happened to ride the bull for 8 seconds. A number of other broadcasters could have done it. I'm very fortunate and very honored to have been the one to get to call 2 of those. You know, the 2 calls, the Georgia call and the Alabama call, a little different.
Here's your ball game. Nick Marshall
The Georgia call, I remembered everything I said up until the ball was caught.
It is tipped off, and Lewis caught it on the deflection. Lewis is going to score. Lewis is going to score. Lewis is going to score. Touchdown Auburn. Touchdown Auburn. A miracle in Jordan-Hare.
And I really did not know what I said in what order until I heard it after the game.
Seconds to go.
And people don't believe me. I'm saying the honest to goodness truth. The Alabama one was a little different because you could see that. It wasn't in the blink of an eye.
6-yarder. It's got, no, does not have the leg. And Chris Davis takes it in the back of the end zone.
You could see that happening. So you had a little time to think about it.
45, 50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game.
But I rarely think about, all right, this is what I'm going to say in this case or this case or this case, because then it's not genuine. They play the highlight montage up on the video board. After the game's over, people, they don't want to leave the stadium. The Georgia game and tenfold in the Alabama game with the fans all down on the field when they get to in this case, the Chris Davis return for a touchdown. I mean, they're celebrating, and when they get to that moment, silence on the field. And they listen to the call. And the reaction of the fans on the field to that call, I mean, it gets me choked up right now. It's just, I mean, it's just incredible. The moment, the emotion, we're asked to paint a picture. We're also required to describe the emotion in a big play like that. And hopefully that's what we were able to do. So, you know, a lot of it is just spontaneity. You know, you have your training and what you're supposed to do, and you're supposed to, you know, make sure the fans know what's going on. But at some point you cross that line just a little bit and you become a fan. There are very few places where you go, schools, where you can go out and say 2 words to somebody, War Eagle, and it means everything. It can mean hello, it can mean goodbye, it can mean, I mean, it's just, it's a symbol, it's a way of communicating to another person that's an Auburn fan or an Auburn alum. And I think that's just kind of a microcosm of what the Auburn family is. I mean, we care about what we do, we care about each other, we care about Auburn.
Now, Bramblett told me in 2010 he and his wife went to Glendale, Arizona for the Auburn Tigers in the BCS National Championship game, and he left his kids actually back in Auburn, and he promised them that if they ever returned to a national championship, he would take them. Sure enough, as you can imagine, Rod Bramlett is living up to that promise this year here in Pasadena, California. Now, another cool note about the Auburn Tigers radio team and the network, all of them who are involved with calling the game either attended Auburn, played at Auburn, or have been involved with Auburn athletics for the past 20 years. And Simone, as you can imagine, as you can see, that is absolutely why you hear so much enthusiasm and so much excitement in their voice, in their inflection, in when they call the game. It's definitely something that gives me goosebumps every time I hear it call those games.
It gives you goosebumps. Try standing on the sideline and experience those, Michael.
I can imagine.
Their plays, I will have memories for the rest of my life.
For
it's
sure.
Just incredible. So what a great story. Thank you for that.
Not a problem.
All right, now we are just getting started with our BCS coverage here from Pasadena. Coming up a little bit later in sports, check out what we have for you. I'll have more from Auburn and Florida State players from the press conferences this morning. Also, a recap from last night's Sugar Bowl loss, a tough one for the Tide. Of course, you can follow Fox 10 and Fox10TV.com for our continuing coverage of the BCS title game. We'll have live updates over the weekend, getting you ready for the big game. And on Sunday, you can catch our 30-minute special right here on Fox 10 as we take a look back at Auburn's historic run this season. We'll have coverage that you won't see anywhere else, and that begins Sunday at 9:30. If you're an Auburn fan, I promise you, you don't want to miss that show. But for now, reporting from the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California, I'm Simone Eli. See you in sports.
Thanks, Simone.